There we go. Now I'm recording, so I'll start over a little bit because I started and then forgot to hit record. So here we go. CSPD Week is our week-long professional development opportunity that we have for teachers, where we have several different strands that folks can participate in, where each strand is aligned to the computer science endorsement for either K-8 teachers or 6-12 teachers in Arizona. We are excited to announce more information about the strands that we will be offering in this particular event. And so in particular, we're super grateful and thankful for the Infosys Foundation USA for supporting and sponsoring this event, giving us some seed money that's really going to make all of this possible and free for teachers, which is super exciting. And then we also have a list of partners over here on the side who are involved with this project that we're super grateful for as well. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different strands of professional development that we're offering over the summer. That's right, Jesse's excited, so excited, just can't hide it. We have a strand with CS in elementary classrooms. You can read over these. There's lots of stuff here. Anything that you would like to investigate more, you can click on and read more information about it. I will give a brief overview of each of these strands. This is a strand for K-5 teachers that features some workshops sponsored by Code.org, their CS Fundamentals program, and then also some workshops that then split off specifically for K-2 teachers and then specifically for 3-5 teachers, because we know that the needs, especially for pre-readers, are different than for students at a more reading level. And so we offer some differentiated professional development for those teachers. And then coming back together as a full group on Friday to talk about computational thinking and the role of unplugged activities in our classroom. So very excited for this week of professional development for K-5 educators who would like to come and spend a week learning about computer science, because that's super exciting. We're really excited to partner with this organization called the STAMazing program. They run professional development down here in Tucson through the Pima County Superintendent Office. They've run several successful workshops focused on integrating computer science into other subjects, into literacy and science and math through these little Edison robots. And so we have a week of professional development focused on integrating these little robotics into other subjects with facilitators from the STAMazing program. It is so excited. I've been to their whole sequence of workshops, and I'm so happy that they are able to bring this to our week of PD that we're having here with CSPD Week. We designed this in mind, the teacher who perhaps is a core content teacher or an instructional specialist who really focuses on integration, and they may not have a dedicated computer science class, but they would still like to implement sort of STEM subjects or computer science into their core content. And so that is a teacher that this workshop perhaps really serves here. But we also know, especially at that middle school level and at that high school level, sometimes you do have these dedicated computer science classes. And we're super excited that Microsoft is coming back. They came in 2019 and led an amazing sequence of workshops. And they're coming back for a week to offer physical computing and game-based learning, especially for those teachers who do have that dedicated computer science class, working on the microbit and then also the Make Code Arcade. For both of these sessions that have these sort of physical components, anyone who signs up will get a kit with all of the materials that they need in order to participate in the workshop, which is super exciting. For the middle school and introductory high school level, we're offering CS Discoveries through the Arizona Science Center and Code.org, which is an exceptional introduction to computer science class. And both teachers and students without prior computer science or programming experience are welcome to attend the workshop, which is super exciting. We're also offering that next level, especially at that high school level, the Code.org CS Principles class, which is an AP class as well for teachers who are looking to get those red and blue points in their school sort of scorecard report. The CS Principles class is a really great way to do that. I was just thinking about that the other day, and that's why it's fresh on my mind. But this is a course that's another introductory course, especially at the high school level, for students looking to learn more about computer science, also through Code.org. Super great. We are committing to having an introduction to programming with Python course for folks who would like to learn some more about Python and introduce that to their students, either as an introductory course or an advanced course. I cannot at this moment officially announce who will be offering this, but I promise you that we are very close to being able to announce someone who will be offering this track. But this is a strand for folks looking to get a little deeper into sort of text-based languages. We're offering this as well. Also super excited for teachers looking to do AP Computer Science A. We're offering the code.org AP Computer Science A curriculum. This is their new curriculum that's not even out yet. And so once that is released, we're offering training on it through CSPD week. And it is just super exciting. There's a teacher here in Tucson who is piloting the curriculum and has nothing but great things to say about it. And so we're super excited to offer this as well for this advanced high school offering. And then this last one that fits so many pieces, where I'm super excited to bring Bootstrap. They came 3 years ago and offered their Bootstrap algebra course. We're now doing Bootstrap data science and bringing that to Arizona as well. And this is a course, especially at the high school level, that really also focuses on integration and flexible implementation, so that not just a computer science teacher, but also a history teacher or a math teacher or a science teacher, or anyone who really wants to integrate rigorous high quality data science into their classrooms can participate in this. That's why the offering is so flexible in sort of the age range and the band that you could look at. And it's also flexible into the type of teacher who can participate in this. So we're really excited about Bootstrap coming and the folks who could participate in this beyond just our typical computer science teachers. If you or a teacher were sort of not sure what workshop they might want to attend, we've got this nifty PowerPoint, which is super great, where you can sort of pick what session you might want to look at. You know, maybe I'm a high school intro CS teacher. Oh, here are all these sessions that might work for high school intro CS. Or maybe I'm a K-5 teacher. Here are some sessions that work for the K-5 teacher. Or maybe I'm interested in like physical computing or like focus on integration. Or maybe I'm a CTE sequence. Like, what are the courses that might align to a first-year CTE sequence versus a second-year CTE sequence? So lots of little recommendations we have for folks on how they can pick the content they would like to participate in. This week of professional development will be offered in Phoenix. We are also very close to releasing the location of where we're going to offer it. And there is the potential for funding to be available for travel stipends for folks who need to travel from outside of the Phoenix region to come in. And so that's another thing that we hope teachers will take advantage of and that we have funding for. I've been doing a lot of talking. I've been doing a lot of screen sharing. I will stop sharing my screen and I will pause if there's any questions or comments from the audience.
Would you know off the top of your head what the hours would be for, say, any of the programs? Would I be able to find that? Like, if we wanted to give a stipend to teachers to attend, right? Like, how many hours would it be? Would I be able to find that out from the agendas online?
Yes, that okay. I promise that will be available. Okay. Yeah, so if that's the question, that's an easy answer. Yes, I promise that information will be available. Oh boy. Well, you do not have to.
I'm sorry, I have one more question. And you said it was aligned to the endorsement in Arizona?
Yes.
Okay, and that's on the website also.
Yeah, so that, oh, I stopped sharing my screen. There's a section down there about the computer science endorsement, listing out the, et cetera. There's also a section on here, I forgot to highlight this. There is a template sort of letter to an administrator that a teacher could send to other folks in their district. And we drafted that in consultation with our Department of Education, our ADE colleagues, so that the wording there creates a very smooth pipeline for then getting those endorsement hours. One thing that the way that the endorsement process works is there's sort of a tight communication loop that needs to happen between the teacher and some folks at the district, because the district approves those hours. And so sending that letter and getting folks in the know ahead of time really helps with that, really helps smooth out getting those hours approved for the endorsement. Beth, I think I saw you unmute at some point.
Yeah, I basically was just going to say that we're a quiet bunch today.
That is totally fine. I also saw Michelle mention down cost and registration dates. Cost is free. We're at the point where I can say confidently that this will be a free event for teachers who would like to sign up and attend. Some sessions have some additional sort of requirements and registration pieces. For example, all of the code.org sessions have an additional sort of application piece that goes through their portal that teachers would have to apply for. But the overall event, free for teachers, which we're very excited by. Registration dates, we're hoping to open registration in the next few weeks. I'm hesitant to commit to an official date, but within the next few weeks, we will have registration officially open. We're fine tuning the form that we are doing, but we do have enough available that I wanted to share this stuff out because it's super exciting. Well, you do not have to talk in this full group because back in our little slide deck, our little chance for virtual networking, the prompts that I will present to you are somewhat related to CSPD week. So even if you didn't want to talk about it as a big group, let's talk about it with some of your colleagues. We're going to spend about 15 minutes doing sort of a virtual networking session, the goals of which are to get to know some of the other folks around Arizona, or in this case, perhaps some folks outside of Arizona, have a casual conversation to kind of clear the air from the day. And we'll have 3 different rounds of breakout rooms, about 4 minutes each, 3 or 4 people per room. And I have some optional discussion prompts to get the conversation started. The first of which is, what is something exciting about this summer CSPD week event? You kind of like led the witness a little bit, begged the question. I've assumed that you all think it's exciting because I think it's exciting. So I'm going to make you all think about that. Before we do that, I'm going to stop the recording because recording breakout sessions is kind of weird, but we'll come back later. Zoom the recording. There we go. For the next section of this, we'll share some time sharing some strategies, especially meant for elementary educators. And again, if we know any other teaching folks who might find value from these meetings, sometimes focusing on high school topics, sometimes focusing on elementary topics, love to get more teachers into these spaces. But for now, I'm going to pass over to Jesse, who's going to share some unplugged activities for the elementary classroom. Jesse, do you need to share your screen or anything?
No, not at this point. I think I'll treat it as a true elementary and do show and tell. Hi, everybody. My name is Jesse McKinley. I'm a K-4 coding, computer science, robotics, engineering teacher here in the Madison School District for my school, Madison Camel View, home of the Cubs. And I'm in my 4th year here in this position. I was before a music teacher, and I saw this opportunity, and I kind of worked my way to a second degree in technology to land into this position, and been having so much fun. We've been getting so much devices and curriculum, and a nice space to work in. But sometimes it's a little bit, sometimes the devices seem to get in front of the content that that I'm trying to deliver to the students. The students are really excited about the robots. We have dot and dash robots. We have lots of hands-on devices, but sometimes they just get too overwhelmed with that the content of coding and programming and engineering and building sometimes gets a little muddled. So in one of my sessions with students, we were working with 3rd and 4th graders and learning about conditionals. We're using code.org curriculum. So shout out to Beth, and code.org is great. It's been wonderful. The students have been super excited about it. But when we got to this part of the course, there were some kind of hits and misses. Some of the hits were that the kids were understanding with conditionals. They were understanding the if, then, or if, else, or if, while, and they're using the blocks fairly appropriate. Some of them, yeah, it wasn't quite getting it. They weren't quite understanding that they have to tell the character in the Minecraft world to do something, or to do something, and if something changes, do something else. They weren't quite making that connection. And I like visuals, so I decided that to take a break from devices and do some unplugged activities. And I pulled out an oldie but goodie from code.org, conditionals with cards. And with conditionals with cards, to introduce the topic of conditionals, if you see a card that's red, or if you could see a card that's 7, make sure, okay. If you see a card that's 7, you say yay, and if you don't see a card that's not a 7, you say aw, and then we introduce the card. Oh, it's a 9.
Oh,
yeah, and then we have this card.
yay!
Hey, and then we have this card.
Oh,
And then we have this card.
yay!
So, and then we go on and explain the reason why you said yay to this was because it was a 7. And then you said aw to this because it was not a 7. And so I introduced that way, and then also we introduced them to the lesson of conditioning with cards. So we played the game and presented to the students the code. And I really set it up as they were computers competing against each other, and I was the programmer. So the program I posted up direct from code.org. If card is red, point to you. Else, if card is black, or else, point to other team or other person. And we really explain red card, point to you, not a red card, point to them, and exchange cards and keep track of your points up to 10, and we play the game. Well, then we came into a situation. What about this card? It's red, it's black, it's blue. It's a lot of colors, and it's a joker. So that put a little monkey wrench into the system here. So we had to rewrite, or the programmer, that was me, had to rewrite the program for the computers, which were them, that else, another else, if you have a joker that's black, you follow the algorithm. If it's red, you follow the algorithm. If it's both colors, everybody gets a point. And that seemed to satisfy everybody. And then everybody was getting it. Oh, that's a joker. That's both our points. Or it's multicolored. That's both our points. Oh, that's the black joker. You get the point. And we were just rocking and rolling. And then we throw in the third version of the program. And with the third version, we had a release party, because that's what we do as programmers, and releasing new product. We have a release party for the new version. Else, if the card is greater than 9, you get you have greater than 9, you give a point to them. Less than 9, you get the amount of that's on that card as points to you. So you can get points for red or black, and you also get points for greater than and less than. But we found a bug. What if the card was this? What if the card was this? No, I didn't come up with this. The students came up with this. What if the card was this? So we set up a whole nother if else in another section of conditionals. So this simple game blew up into something really super complex that they just ate up. And there were some students that didn't quite get I got to take a point, I got to add points. And that was okay, because that's kind of, another lesson that we can talk about with their classroom teacher about greater than, less than, and adding up these points. Fast forward to this, this is all in 1 week. Fast forward to the next week when I have my club, my techno club. So what happened in techno club? We're working on devices, and we're working on Scratch, and we're working on some robots, and they're making things, and they've got different projects going on. And there were some students that were like, hey, Mr. McKinley, can we play that conditional with card game? Go right ahead. The instructions are on the board still. Go right ahead. And here's what really blew my mind. they added more conditionals. If you got 2 cards in the row, you have to do this. If you got this card plus this card and this card, and they were making all these different conditions. And I just went back and I'm like, oh my gosh, we should be recording this. I got sidetracked and I kind of lost track of them, but they just kept on adding different conditionals. They weren't just like goofing around. They were actually taking this really seriously, and they were making this their own, which was like, oh my gosh, that was my goal for this club anyway. So, the point of the story is, with unplugged activities, it gives the students a chance to really get away from devices and really focus on, I've got to type, I've got to do this, I've got to work with the device, and really like explore the content in a different way. And also, when they're done with it, they can take that concept and that activity and really blow it up into whatever they want, and be really creative. One activity I love doing with the K2s is this unplugged activity. It's called Let's Go Code. And you have these mats and you have these cards and these items. And basically the students build with the mats a little maze. They place down the objects that they need to get. And the students have to pretend to be the repair bot. And also there's another student in their team that has to be the coder with the cards to tell the robot what to do. So they give you a suggestion on what the maps should look like. But sometimes I say, you know what, you can follow this, or you can do whatever maze you want in whatever direction you want, because I've got a fairly big room. And if you want to combine classes and combine students and have more resources, your maze can go anywhere, and you can change the rules to fit, you know, what you're trying to accomplish. So instead of you're trying to get one thing for the robot, you can get 2 things for the robot, or 4 things. Or if it's on an orange, you've got to do something fun and wacky. Or you have to sing a song if you're on the gray, the purple square. So it really, a lot of the unplugged games really morphed into a lot of bigger and better, bigger and grander ideas, and support for the concept that I'm trying to get the hammer home with the students. And the students they seem to be really having a lot of fun, and that's kind of what I want them to have when they're in my rooms, to have fun, but also to learn. So how much time do I have, Dan?
You do not feel like you need to stretch it out anymore if you don't need to, but we have like a couple more minutes, perhaps, if folks have questions. Okay. I love the way you talk about balancing like the joy and the fun with learning computer science as well. That's something I feel like we sometimes forget at the high school level, but it's so apparent at the elementary level. I remember you telling me that, you know, something happened where you shared these with colleagues, and I don't know if they remixed it or if they did something slightly different. I don't know if that's something worth talking about as well, the way that this idea blew into something more, or maybe I'm misremembering.
Oh, that was the kids taking it and blowing it up into more. That was the techno makers. They went and did a whole set of conditions that like blew my mind. I was like, wow. But I did share this with the classroom teachers to show them that this is one way you can integrate computer science topics along with math, along with writing, because they had to keep track of points, and also we could have gone and talked about variables because they had to keep track of points. They had to have a placeholder for all that data, and then to sort out the data. Oh yeah, and I forgot one more thing. What if they pulled a 9? 9 is not bigger than 9. 9 is not smaller than 9. 9 is equal. So we made a condition. If you hit a 9, you wipe out your points. Everybody goes back to 0. And they were like, what? Oh no. So it was fabulous. It was absolutely fabulous. It was joyful.
That's so great. I wonder if any other folks on the call have any questions or comments based on the Unplugged in CS Elementary.
is the Let's Go Code the a board game?
It is actually, no, actually it's these mats and
Okay.
these little pieces, and they're physical. They're foam. These are foam and hard cardboard, and they physically put them together.
Okay. Thanks.
Which I'm not a representative of the company, but if I had to, I would kind of make these myself. So you can do these as a DIY.
Yeah, I just love the example you used. That is so much better than the peanut butter and jelly example that I think everybody uses. So I really like what you're doing for a hard concept like conditionals. Blows even high school students' minds half the time. So yeah, I just really love what you're doing with that.
Yeah, another thing that I also mentioned with them that I told them that I'm a game designer, I'm a programmer, and this is what programmers kind of do. They test things out. The version's great, it has a great run, and then all of a sudden it's kind of stale and boring. They have to refresh it. They add more features to it, and we release it and we try it again, and then all of a sudden we see a bug. And then we have to go back to the programmer, say, hey, there's a bug with this, you got to fix this, or here's how you should fix this, or whatever. So it's kind of that real life that we're trying to like grab in and put into our activities and our curriculum. Thank you, Dan.
That's so great. Jesse, thank you so much for sharing that activity with us. Thank you for kicking off the elementary teacher sharing activities in these community calls. I'm excited to share pieces of this recording with folks, and hopefully we get more teachers sharing what's working in their classrooms. That's part of our goals.
Yeah, and I do have to say I'm really excited that we are going to have that opportunity this summer to explore more, because I could always use more. And I'm sure every elementary and middle school and high school teacher can use more.
More tools in the toolkit. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Well, great. Well, thank you so much, Jesse. I really appreciate it. I saw folks on the call giving like little, clap emojis and things like that. We are reaching towards the end of the call. We'll start to kind of wrap some things up here. The final moments here is an opportunity to kind of share out any announcements or new initiatives that are happening. And we do that through these sort of community updates. And so if you didn't get a chance to look at this document, I'll share it in the chat as well. But this is a Word document that then we turn into events and headlines, and we share out in our monthly newsletter. So this time we'll kind of go through some of the things that are happening around Arizona that folks on this call or folks who read our newsletter might be interested in. I'll start on the first one. We have started to have like Tucson meetups with the U of A computer science department outside in this outdoor patio. Is very lovely, is very wonderful. So for Tucson folks on the call, I'd love to see you. It is next Thursday, March 10th. We are not doing it during parent-teacher conferences for the largest district in Tucson, so hopefully we'll get more people to show up. This time we're theming it around bring a book or a magazine or something physical that has influenced your teaching or is full of student project ideas. And that can be sort of an interesting conversation starter. It's also been very exciting. We had 9 U of A CS faculty show up last time, which I feel like is like they made a joke that they had quorum. They could like make decisions in a meeting showing up at this. So it is very exciting to have that level of engagement from folks at the higher ed community who want to meet computer science teachers. That is also very exciting. This next one down here is also really exciting that that's happening in Phoenix. I just realized I misspelled this up here. Here we go. Furia Labs is bringing a workshop on Python and robotics. They're coming to the Infosys Innovation Hub that's in Tempe. It's March 14th. There's lots of details down here, and there's a registration. It is free robot, free access to their curriculum, free things like that. So if you know any educators who are interested, or I also thought of just like, instructional coaches or CTE directors where, perhaps maybe not implementing this year, but thinking about next year, and any new teachers that might need to get onboarded, that might be an interesting opportunity for those folks. Another opportunity that's coming up is this AZ Cyber Summer Boot Camp. AZ Cyber is a group that exists in Arizona. They have some summer boot camps that they run at different points throughout the summer. For students, this is a student opportunity where students can learn some more about the cybersecurity workforce. Arizona cares a lot about cyber. So if you are someone who also is interested in preparing students to tackle cybersecurity topics, this is an opportunity that they can apply for, which is super fun. And then I have this one too. The University of Arizona Data Science Academy has a data science fellowship program that you can read it here. Supports middle and high school students, middle and high school educators. This is a teacher-facing opportunity in all disciplines, math and history and science and any of those, to bring data science to their classroom. We're actually super excited because this group is also helping to support our data science strand that we're doing at CSPD week this summer. So any folks who are interested in participating in this will then also get the opportunity to attend that data science strand and follow-up sessions that happen throughout the year. They have a cohort of folks, so there's a community of people who all meet and work on data science. It's very exciting. Highly recommend checking out their website. Lots of interesting stuff going on there, and a really great program for educators who are interested in data science at all grade levels. And now, something that is not me, I will pass it over to Beth. Do you want to talk about the CS Fundamentals workshop coming up?
Yeah, I just wanted to let you all know, let whoever know that we do have another in-person CS Fundamentals workshop happening on March 19th. It is, like I said, in person. Just go register there and we'll see you on March 19th. So, and then I think we have another one in April, but I think it is virtual. So.
Awesome, thank you. And then looks like we have some stuff here from Dan. What's going on with Microbit, Dan?
Yes, I'm wearing my other hat. I'm not wearing my TEALS program hat, although I will remind everyone that it is volunteer recruiting season for the TEALS program if you know someone who is interested in helping out with CS education in high schools in both the Phoenix area and Tucson. So we're expanding with Reggie, and I did see Reggie was on the call, so I'll let him talk if he wants to, but I don't know if he got anything in here yet. But I did get named as a Microbit champion. So I'm a 2022 Microbit champion, woohoo, which means, among other things, that I am tasked to do some workshops for educators. So if you would like for yourself or, a group of educators in your district or whatever would like a whatever type of tutorial, I'm pretty familiar and pretty fluent with Microbit. I usually will tie it into MakeCode because I find that's the best environment, but I'm also more than happy to do things like CircuitPython or other ways to program a Microbit. I would be glad to offer those. You see my Coder Dojo Tucson email is there. And also the Do Your Bit challenge is going on, which is something I'm really passionate about. It combines the microbit with this UN Sustainable Development Goals. So students are encouraged this year, there are 4 different sustainable development goals that students are encouraged to submit projects to address. And so I'm more than happy to do some programming on that as well. And there is a video, I don't know if the link is working, but there's a link down to the bottom. So just contact me if you have any interest. There's 3 links there and my email address, because I see people are starting to drop off because it's probably that time.
Awesome, thank you, Dan. We'll add this into the newsletter too. This is great. Looks like that's it for community updates, so that's wonderful. Well, great. Thank you all for spending an hour with us. Beth, I see you unmuted. What's up?
Hey, I just want to put another plug in. If anybody knows anybody who's interested in judging for AZCEF, in particular with this CS group, we need judges in our robotics and intelligent machines division, as well as our system software. And we also need for our computer science categories at our elementary and junior division. So if that's interesting to anybody, just let me know. I will send you, Reginald, the info. Thank you.
There's a computer science category in the AZ Science Fair?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
What am I doing with myself?
I don't know. You should totally be judging. We've got elementary and junior division computer science, and at the senior division, we've got computer robotics and system software.
I feel so foolish. Thank God this is being recorded. Oh my goodness. You don't want me judging. I'm a harsh judge. I'm a terrible judge.
That's all right. That's good. That's good.
Beth, can you put that information in the document so we have, I'm not
Yes.
familiar with that science fair, so.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'll put it in.
Yes, we will 100% add that to the doc. I think we also made like a CSTA news story about it a while ago, so I'm trying to find that real quick. Here we go. Here was the last time that we kind of made a story about it. It's got some flyer with some judging opportunities in it, which is this. Oh boy. Well, cool. Thank you, Beth, for putting that on my radar. Well, we're coming up on time. Thank you all for spending the evening with us. Really appreciate it. And next week, or next community call, the focus is on these bigger picture sort of advocacy and outreach efforts, similar to the one we had back in January, sort of sharing these bigger pieces of what's going on. So I'll be reaching out to folks who might want to present and talk about some of these big picture initiatives that are happening in Arizona. And the Arizona legislative session is, it's not too early to be thinking about what it means that is starting and different levers that we can pull at this advocacy and legislative arm in Arizona as well. So I will stop the recording. I'll stick around if folks want to chat conversationally, but otherwise, thank you all for spending the evening with us.
Dan, I